I feel like there's so many people that hear this content and they automatically assume that they're gonna reap the results of just listening to it. You know what I'm saying? You just can't listen to it. I mean, it's great to it's a great start, you know.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of people get they get stuck at the finish line. I mean, not finish line, at the at the starting line, and they don't go to the finish line because it's like they're just, you know, because I'm even that way, because I mean I'm just so addicted to consuming content, bro, and it makes you feel good, but at the same time, like if you consuming this content, you like, man, what the fuck, I've been, you know, just consuming this content, hearing all of these encouraging words and things like that, and I'm feeling like my life is going to get better, but at the same time I'm doing the same shit. I go to work, I listen to this motherfucking seminar before I go clock in. Mm-hmm. I get home, I'm too fucking tired to do anything, and I'm gonna take my ass to sleep, and then I'm gonna go to work the next day, listen to this motherfucking seminar, driving to work and shit. And it's just a rinse cycle, bro. And you ain't doing the shit that they telling you to do in the fucking video, bro.
Because people get complacent, man. It's like, you know, it's like it's like this right here. So you watch that video, right? They put nostalgic songs in there. They put things in there that make you amped up. For that brief period of time, you see what they're saying. You feel what they're saying. You have a release of dopamine in your brain that makes you feel really good. And then the thing is, those videos are great. What they don't tell you, though, is how to have a follow-through game plan. A lot of videos don't tell you how to get from A to Z. They just show you about point A. You have to figure out how to get from A to Z yourself. And that's what people fail to understand, is how do you make a game plan. Yes, you see this point you want to be at. Yes, you feel good. Yes, it sounds good on paper. But what a lot of people don't understand is, to get from A to Z, you've got to push through the struggle. You have to have a game plan. You have to understand that not every day is going to be perfect, that not every day is going to be filled with joy and hope, that you're going to have struggles that you have to push through and persevere through, because the perseverance and the struggles are a part of the journey, and the journey is what makes you who you are, and that's what, and those struggles are what make you get to your destination.
Absolutely. What do you feel about this, Matt?
I would say that motivation is kind of like a high.
Exactly.
Yeah, it feels good in the moment.
Dopamine,
serotonin, feeling good. But if that motivation doesn't really intersect with your mental model of who you are, your identity, I have a feeling that it's not going to. It's like a plant. Even if you plant it like a seed, if it doesn't grow, then it's kind of, in my opinion, just intellectual masturbation. You know, you feel good in the moment, you get the high, and then you finish, and then you go back to your regular life. What people really need is to emphasize on their identity and how they interact with the world around them. And I think motivational videos give the people a little escape from reality, and helps them paint what they could be. But there's many pressures in society that make people feel very comfortable, such as salary, fast food, drugs, alcohol, all this, that placebo effects, different psychological things. But I do think there is good motivational speakers, such as, you know, Jordan Peterson, who speaks about the postmodernism, Carl Jung, Friedrich Nietzsche, things of those matter. I think we're in a world where people are lacking meaning, and that's where depression comes from.
Absolutely.
We don't have a great war.
Right.
We don't have a great battle. Our biggest battles are in our minds, and we're fighting them on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
And that's the issue with young men, young women who feel lost in our society, who don't have enough money to take care of themselves or pursue opportunities. I think motivation is important, but there's also social economic perspectives behind it. I think discipline is important, but if you grow up in an undisciplined environment, discipline to you is a foreign concept. And you need somebody to teach you those concepts for you to fully grasp them. But I'd definitely like to hear your guys' perspective on that.
Like when you were talking about like meaning, I feel like that. I mean, we are in a society where a lot of people are lacking meaning. That's why a lot of celebrities like finally do get the money and they turn to drugs and all this other stuff. So it's just, if the thing is, like, goes into motivation. Like, if you don't have a meaning to why you get the money, you're really not gonna. I don't feel like money is just like a good reason to. I feel like the meaning is over the money, cause yeah, bro. Like, you only can.
Money's temporary.
It's temporary, but it's just, you want to make money. People don't really have a real reason why they want to succeed in life. That's just what society teaches you to, oh yeah, you want to be successful. If not, then it's just, I feel like if you work in a 9-to-5 job that you genuinely love, I feel like you successful. You don't have to be this super motherfucker to be successful in mainstream society, bro. And go back to what you were saying with discipline. A lot of people aren't taught discipline. Like, and your environment does play a part in that.
But you can also learn and grow, because there have been people in society, even though they are rare and far and few between, that take themselves from virtually nothing and grow into pretty much everything. They accomplish all their dreams because why? They accomplish it through hard work. And the thing is, life isn't fair. Nobody's going to have 100% of the success 100% of the time. But the thing is, for the people who try, there's a higher chance of success because they're pushing. The thing is, you have to know how to get to your goal. You have to set realistic boundaries and expectations. You can't set unrealistic expectations and unrealistic boundaries. You have to have a solid plan. This isn't a Disney movie. This is real life. There are consequences, there are successes, and there are failures.
Absolutely.
And even from your failures, you can have successes because you learn what not to do. And the thing is, a lot of people don't realize is you have to put in that hard work. A lot of people see movies and they see the beginning to end part, but it's a 2-hour movie, man. What are you doing in your day?
People think that the success is gonna fall in their lap and shit.
Right. It's not. What are you doing in your day-to-day grind to make these changes? They don't have to be big. They don't have to be like
all those small little micro things is going, because the success isn't just like this one big thing that you did. It's really all that small shit that you really did, and failure is the same way. Like, it's not, you just like don't do one thing and just be like, oh fuck, I'm a failure, I didn't succeed. It's just all the small shit that you didn't do makes you a failure, and all the small shit that you do like all adds up to like being successful.
Doo-doo is in poo-poo, or doo-doo is in doo-doo?
I don't know. Fuck you.
I get what you're saying, and I agree. It's the big things matter, but the smaller things matter more because the smaller things lead up to the big things. Right. So, for example, start off with small goals, like, for example, not sleeping in too long. Everybody needs a proper amount of sleep. I'll agree with that. But the thing is, if you sleep in longer and you keep pressing the snooze button, that's a bad habit. You need to set a goal to get up a certain amount of time. You need to set your alarm clock to get up, and then you work out. Maybe you read a book for 30 minutes. You need to do stuff that sets you up for success. You need to do things that have meaning and value. Setting your alarm clock to go to bed at a certain time and to get up at a certain time and then work out, that's a basic concept a lot of people know about, but do you understand it? Do you follow through? Because the thing is, a successful person should be able to set goals and accomplish them. Everybody has setbacks. Everybody has instances and failures, but the thing is, you don't feel bad about them. You just acknowledge that you messed up, that you're human, and you keep moving forward. You keep picking yourself up, and you gradually keep moving forward. You acknowledge your mistakes, and you don't dwell on them. You keep picking yourself up, because when you dwell on those mistakes, you're going to tear yourself down. Nobody's perfect. You're a human being. What do you think?
I agree with you. I don't have no rebuttal on that.
I think this all comes down to intrinsic and extrinsic values. So the difference between intrinsic and extrinsic is intrinsic values are the things that you do for yourself that society doesn't reward you for. If you do things that make you happy every single day and there's no dollar amount to it, you'll be the happiest man in the world. If you base your life existence off of how do I make the world appreciate me or like me for money, you will always be you'll always be at the expense of others. You have to be willing to stand out in the crowd. You have to be really willing to be alone and have a lot of time alone.
Absolutely.
So a lot of people are afraid of isolation.
Absolutely. And that's like, that isolation is, man, it's needed. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, as far as isolation go, since I was a kid, bro, I always been like a loner. It was like weird for some reason. Like, my personality just kind of didn't match with a lot of people. So like a lot of people didn't genuine. I don't know. I wouldn't attract friends, or I didn't have friends. I was just pretty much a loner. And I really didn't like it at the time. I was just like, fuck. You know what I mean? I was just like, damn, why nobody wanna fuck with me? And then later on in life, I realized the shit was overrated. Like, cause those same people that had all the friends and stuff, they really need people, bro. They really need people in validation and all these other things, bro. They need that. And
they're empty.
I didn't think about that. I was like learning to be alone and being okay with being alone. I just naturally had to be okay with being alone. And it really strengthened me. So like where I'm good hanging around people or I'm not. Younger, like later on, I mean earlier in life, I already kind of learned how to cope with this. And when I started being around certain motherfuckers, I was just like, yo, damn, I just want to go home. I want to be by myself right now.
I got something to add.
School, I would say, like before, I agree with you. School doesn't teach you to think for yourself and to go against the grain. School teaches you to kind of fit in with the grain and be a cookie.
And play it safe.
Yeah, exactly. School doesn't teach you to be an individual. They teach you to be a team player. And there's value in that, but there's value in being an individual as well. See, schools don't value introverts. They value extroverts. That's from captain of the football team. That's the biggest person. Captain of the cheerleading team, the second biggest person. Those people usually make the homecoming queen and homecoming king. But yeah, hey Matt, I know you're an introvert, so you go ahead with this topic. What you got?
Yes, I would say being an introvert is so natural to me, and isolation is so enjoyable to me. I feel that yeah, so Charles Bukowski, German author, once said, "Be wary of those who always need to be around people because they are nothing alone." Think about those people.
That's deep.
Think of the people who can't spend a moment alone because they have some very dark thoughts that they don't really want to think about.
And
They have things in them that are so dark that if they ever spent any time alone, it would come from the subconscious mind to the conscious mind. And that's like, in theory, it's like opening Pandora's box. Once you open it, you'll never get to turn it down. The school system, in my opinion, is just created to push propaganda, to push ideology, to limit free thinking, to put people into categories so they could sell them to the universities. Free thinking is not promoted in the United States. It's not really promoted anywhere with industrialized governments who have their agendas to meet. Every group in America that tried to push against a certain group thinking,
they're going to try to shut it down.
They're going to try to shut it down. Like with the civil rights movement, they tried to make Martin Luther King look extremely bad. He wasn't a perfect person, but nobody is. Every single movement that shakes the establishment, they're going to shut it down. So that makes you ask yourself, is America really a free country, or is it ran by the elites?
I feel like it. I know it is. Like you hit it on the nail. Like, it's just, yeah, you hit that hell on the nail, bro.
I don't think America is run by politicians. I think it's ran by men in dark suits who hide behind the curtains.
Absolutely. So
are
that's like going to the conversation that we
curtains?
were talking about earlier, bro. It was when I was talking about like politics and shit like that. I don't mind people that are into politics, but I'm just not into it because at the end of the day, I don't feel like neither one of those sides I don't think they favor the people anyway. Like I like you said, I'm a free thinker. Like, how could I be a free thinker? And like, if Republicans are telling me that Democrats are this and that, like, I want to be able to think for myself. I don't want to fucking have this motherfucker in my ear telling me this and this telling me that. And if I label myself this person don't want to fuck with me or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really religious as I was, and I don't knock it if that's making you a great person, but I'm not really religious, bro. I don't follow any groups, bro. I follow my intuition, bro, and I follow the history, like all the shit that I've experienced in life that made me think this way. I trust that shit.
So I have a question though.
What's up?
Are you one of these people in the dark suits who has a comprehension of society, and you are telling us a small bit of information to entice the viewers and maybe get them interested, but then make them shy away?
If I was one of these men in the dark suits secretly running society, I would never tell you. I would tell you to keep believing the political structure, the monetary structure of this country, and keep you entrapped in debt for the rest of your lives.